Hi, I'm John Alexandrov. We're back with Julie Etter, and I should say author Julie Etter. I mean, Julie, we've done all these videos over the past year about your real estate business, and we have done some videos about the book, but your book, Lily and Andrew Are Moving, was actually launched on September 9th of 2013. You've done book signings, you've done some radio interviews. That must be different for you because, you know, you're in the real estate business, and although you're public and always out talking with people, you know, this puts a little different perspective on things.
Yeah, it puts the personal perspective, you know, and it's I love watching, once you're in tune to it, how kids do react to you know, selling a house or moving. And you know, I am working with a couple right now who's working on getting their property on the market, and they took some decorations, and the 7-year-old came down and said, "Are we moving today?" You know, and so the importance of keeping the kids engaged so they understand what to expect. You know, like adults, we want that too. But this has been a lot of fun to see the channels it's opened, but also experiencing it with the kids. You know, I always kind of did it when I was writing it, thinking about how it would impact, and now to live it with them has been very rewarding.
Julie, most people know about the book, and they've seen it, the video on treehousebuddies.com, which is your website. Many people have it. But let's go through the premise of it again for people who haven't read the book yet.
Sure. So, I'm sorry. Lily and Andrew Are Moving is geared towards children. 3 to 8 years old is really the range. And, you know, it can be a variety of things. It follows a family who's moving from a house to a bigger house to have more room, and it goes through the realtor coming and then packing up their things. And it can be a bedtime story. It can be an interactive story. There's also tips for parents. I collaborated with a social worker who deals primarily with children, and you know, guides for the whole family. My hope for it certainly is that families will sit down and read it and use it to say, okay, now the boxes are here, and there's stickers, you know, to label their boxes. And it's a guide to ease the anxiety.
You know, one of the things that when you and I first started talking about the concept of the book, and there was something that you said to me that it really stood out in my mind. And I know that as a parent, sometimes we overlook this or forget about it, and that is, as a parent, we're looking at, wow, we're buying a new house, and this is going to be a bigger house and a better house, and it's going to have a pool and a bigger family room and a fireplace, and we think this is just fantastic and better schools, and it's great for the family, and you know, I never stopped to think about what was going through my children's minds. You know, I was all excited about having the new house, but maybe they really weren't, and I think that's a big part of the story.
They didn't know to be yet, you know what I mean? But it's also too how often, and we've talked about this before, but the parents, for convenience, the children go to grandma's or a babysitter, and they do all that stuff. So now the kids come back and their life is totally disturbed. And a lot of times their reactions of what they're feeling, they don't come out by a 5-year-old sitting down and saying, "Mommy, Daddy, this is how I'm feeling." It comes out through other behaviors and anxiety. So it aims to take that away and ideally be fun for the whole family.
Well, it's kind of interesting, Julie, what's happening with the book. I mean, obviously people are purchasing the book, and there are other realtors actually interested in purchasing it to give to their sellers and buyers as well. However, you've been giving it to a lot of your clients and potential clients to prepare them ahead of time. So you take a listing on a house, and they have children, you give them a copy of the book as part of your service of helping them list the house and sell it so that they do properly prepare themselves and their children for the upcoming move.
Yeah, absolutely. It just adds another dynamic to helping, hopefully, to make the process less stressful.
Now, you mentioned a story a couple minutes ago about, you know, one circumstance. Any other stories that you can think about, or testimonials that are coming up as a result of?
I had a 2-year-old little girl, so she, you know, doesn't quite understand the book.
But she can. But the illustrations are fantastic. So I mean, I think any age child could look at the illustrations and kind of know what's going on.
But you know, it almost became an item. Her family was buying new construction, and so we visited the house several times to see the progress of it. And she, every time we went to the house, that was what came with her. Wow. So even though she certainly can't read, she would sit in the kitchen and flip through the book, and it was like, we're going to the new house, the book that goes with the house. Wow. So that, to see it in action, that's my favorite. You know, and actually the people whose house we bought, I gave them a copy. They had children, and the mother said to me that they had to order their boxes so much earlier because the kids kept bugging them. When can I put the stickers on my boxes?
Wow.
So they, she said, well, you got us going.
That's great. I mean,
Yeah.
Julie, I mean, you were talking a little while ago about how, originally when you came up with the concept of the book, it was, I'm going to use this in my real estate practice to,
Right.
To help people, and if other realtors want to take it and help their, buyers and sellers and their children as well. But it's kind of taken on a life of its own now. Some people are buying it, some are using it in their real estate business.
Right.
You're using it. I'm sure family members are
Right.
handing it out and distributing it to people.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of, like I said, taking a life of its own and finding its own path.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, I had the radio show. I spoke with Prudential national affiliates in California. I've had realtors from different states ordering it. So it's just been a lot of fun to hear people's experiences and how it's helped them. And that was the whole goal from the beginning.
So treehousebuddies.com is the website, and I have it up on my screen over there. You can't see it, those of you who are watching in. I mean, the website's fantastic. We're going to be updating some of the video on there with this interview and a few other things that we're working on for you, Julie. But I'm going to say to people, listen, if you haven't purchased this book yet or gotten a copy of it from Julie, please do. I mean, distribute it to, even if you don't have children,
Right.
buy it. Give it to your brother or sister or a friend who does have children if they're contemplating a move, or if they just recently made a move.
Right.
It still would be something important for them
Well,
to have.
and the stickers are there for children as an activity to ease the anxiety, but they're still a great organizational tool for adults.
Right.
So even if you don't have kids, it can help with the move.
Okay, so the book again is Lily and Andrew Are Moving, and I want to say it was skillfully illustrated by your husband Tim as well. Did a phenomenal job on it. Again, the website is treehousebuddies.com. We'll be updating it periodically, probably every 2 or 3 months, with additional video and more concepts about what's happening and more success stories with the book as well. Julie, congratulations, and I'm sure everybody will be seeing this pretty quickly.
Yeah.